Boosted Bow at ZZ Performance.
Boosted Bow. Let's get it. Hey, who that girl over there in the purple?
Oh, it's Ashley.
It's Ashley. Raise your hands. Who that guy over there?
Turbo Tim.
Turbo Tim at ZZP.
Yep.
All right, boys and girls. Since Trevor's not here, Trevor and Tyler and Al are actually on their way to Cletus and Cars. So if you guys
Trevor's in the chat.
Trevor's in the chat?
Yeah,
Oh,
I saw
T in
him.
the chat. Yeah, if you guys are
How's
going
he doing that? Is he driving right now?
No, he's not. He's riding.
No, he's riding.
Oh,
with them.
Yeah.
I saw him parked next to the truck, and I was like, dang, is he driving too?
Nope. He's riding and stuff, and yeah. But so yeah, they're gonna go to Cletus and Cars. If you guys are around Cletus and Cars weekend, please go say hi to Tyler, Trevor, and Al when they are going for 10s of the big boy Sonic.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That last year, that's where we ran our fastest pass in the Sonic. I think 11.4 at 120 something.
Yeah.
But looking to beat our best again this year.
Yeah.
It's always our first event, it seems like, in the Sonic, and we went out, ran a good time, and we couldn't beat it all season long because, this and that and breaking whatever. Or Tyler
that track
missing
is
just
also just a really good track.
See, I wasn't gonna say it. See,
Yeah.
I don't talk about that, Tyler. See, look, they already clowning you. Look, I'm not even here. See. So
No,
wait,
that really is Cletus and Cars really is an entertaining event for people that don't know about it. I mean, I hate drag racing with a passion. I absolutely despise drag racing, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself when I was there.
Yeah.
Okay.
We rolled deep last year to Cletus and Cars.
Yeah, we did.
But we're just busy, and we got too many projects going
we are
on. So
slammed.
we couldn't support the boys, but
We're all here. But just kind of let you guys know, too, we pretty much all of us at this table, we're just kind of turn the lights off downstairs right now because we are all slammed.
Yeah. It's
Everybody
weird.
here is slammed.
yeah.
Like,
There's gonna be customers saying, "I've been calling all day, and it's been
It's already
It's
happening.
been 4 minutes.
yeah.
It's already happening.
Yeah.
4 minutes.
Yeah. Like, me and Ash will be getting calls. I've been calling you all week. Yeah, we know. We get it. We're doing our best.
People
and-
have to understand they're lucky we answer our phone.
yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
When I was,
Like that's one thing. Like customers, like they don't understand. Ryan and I were into car modding before ZZP was a thing, and like we went to vendors and bought parts, and they don't answer their
They
phones.
never answer their phones.
It takes a week to answer an email. Like
if not longer.
Come on.
Even
Any
recently,
large company, they don't have people that answer their phones.
I
You email them.
recently, I emailed for my new wheels on my ATS, Titan 7. I still have not gotten a reply, and that was 6 weeks ago that I emailed them. No reply still. But that's a different topic. Today, boys, we're talking about something. We got kind of a diverse set of group up here for the specific reason. We're going to talk about generational car modding. You got your boomers and your Gen Z, your millennials, and your what's the other one? Gen X ones and stuff. So we've kind of noticed that different generations take modding. They have different modding styles.
in before Captain Slow cracks a Turbo Tim boomer joke. I am not a boomer for all of you that are listening.
Turbo Tim is not a boomer. So get out of here, Canatelli.
The one with the crackle tune.
I'm a kid at heart.
Yep. So yeah. So we can just start talking this off.
Ashley's car has a crackle tune on it too.
Oop.
By the way,
Hell
like
it does.
Oop.
I
It
told
sure
you if that
does.
happens. If that happens,
it's
I'm
been on
driving
there.
up and down.
It's been on
At
there
2
for
a.m.
like
I know where
6
you
months
live.
or a year.
So Mason Weatherby, look, Big Mason in the house. Let's go. So Eric, do you still have that generational breakdown that I sent you earlier? Like, what are the
I do
generational
somewhere
breakdown?
if we need to. Hold on. You're going to have to talk while I find it.
I mean,
Oh.
I would assume the boomers are considered probably obviously the muscle cars. Muscle car guys are going to be the boomers. I would imagine the LS crew is probably pretty boomer.
Maybe,
Seems
but
like a lot of like older dudes are into LS stuff.
well, yeah, I can see that, especially as you get older. But what's so
All right,
Eric has
so
a year ranges.
If we
for me.
go based off of birth, older boomers were born between 1946 and 54.
Okay.
Younger boomers 55 to 64. Gen X 65 to 80. Millennials 81 to 96, and Gen Z is 97 to
I
2012.
hate that. I
So
fall under the millennial
Bo is a
crap.
Gen Z.
Yeah.
You are a Gen X,
Gen
Yeah.
X here.
Gen X, and then me and Ashley are
Damn
millennials. Freaking millennials.
God damn it.
Yeah.
So yeah. So overall, I mean, and I'll say let's just jump right into it.
I'll jump
go
into
for
it. I think car modding, this is kind of where I've always thought it came from, is back in the day, probably pre-50s, when people were basically running moonshine and needed to get away from the cops, and you needed your car to be faster than the cop car. you had to
That's
take
been
some
history
weight
for
out
'em.
of it. You had to I don't know how they made horsepower back then.
Oh,
but
Well, it was just the scales with it. Like, so, like, your cars come out with 20 horsepower, then I got 37 horsepower. Oh, God.
Yeah.
I don't know what the tricks of the trade were back then.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, boomers and vets, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
For
So,
sure.
I'm just noticing a style of modding, too, because I think early on, the focus was really heavy on racing and street racing or, whatever. Like, that was really early on. That was the focus. But then as the generations kept coming on, car shows started to pop up or other kind of events or just mod the car just for looks kind of thing. And then that's when you have the
Yeah.
V6 like up badging and stuff like that.
my parents always talked about cruising.
Yeah,
we're
the
going
cruise.
cruising. We're gonna cruise the gut. That's it.
Yeah. But see, like driving the cars, modifying them. So you have your older guys that you focus on street racing and then cruising, and then you're
You're killing me, Canatella. You're killing me.
oh my God, Jesus. And then your newer guys, they kind of changed up what it was to mod a car. And also, you have to think too, as technology pushed along, cars kept getting better, like right out of the box. You'd have to do a lot of this other crazy stuff too. So,
Man, I remember like the boomer mod flex fan for 20 horsepower.
Heck yeah. There's some like an Engine Masters dyno on different fans, and a plastic versus steel is a significant difference.
For sure.
what? I've never heard of this.
Yeah.
This is like, I'm going to call it Jegs modding era.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
the older school is definitely, they will go Summit and Jegs for everything.
Yeah.
Summit Jegs for
I
everything.
agree with
And
that.
it was an amazing magazine. It's like you go to the Chevy 350 and you have the pages of the Chevy 350. You got your Ford 302 pages in the Jegs magazine. It was great. And if you add all these little things together, you make like 1,000 horsepower. Pretty much.
That's
Flex
wow.
fan, like 25 horsepower. Like
Oh, the addition.
this lightweight water pump is like 10 horsepower. Like it was so bad.
Don't forget those cam gears you were talking about. The
Oh,
other
the,
day.
the
The Pete Jackson cam gears.
Pete Jackson, yeah. God, I
my-
hated those. It was so bad.
Tell the people about the Pete Jackson cam gears.
Oh, these people probably don't even know about it.
No, I don't.
Okay,
know
so you have a cam-driven engine like your cams in the Valley. There's no timing chain. It's just two gears that attach you have the two gears. You got the small one, you got the big one, and then there's two gears that connect them. So there's no timing chain connecting the two gears together and running around like a bicycle chain.
Yeah,
There's two gears that connect the
they're
front
connected
and
to.
rear, yeah.
What the heck?
And they are noisy.
I'm sure they are. It's
Like
probably
it
loud
sounds,
AF.
it sounds like a 6871 blower car driving down the road. Just like I'm not gonna make the noise because then Ashley will be like, "What's that noise again?"
Call her out. Good call out. Ashley's all
Make
on
the
that.
noise.
Right.
Anyway,
Do it again.
it was so essentially you deleted the timing chain, put a gear-driven timing set in it.
Yes.
In the gear drive, it obviously makes more noise than the chain does. So
Oh, yeah.
you get a whining noise while you're driving it, which was probably pretty cool.
I was gonna say, so is it a cool
I mean,
or a
if
bad
we
whine
made
noise?
one for
Because,
the 3800, people would buy it.
100%. 100%.
Probably would.
What wouldn't they buy?
So,
I never thought it was cool. It just whines. Like who wants to hear your timing chain making noise? Like I want my engine to be quiet. I want to hear like turbos whistling,
Exhaust.
centrifugal blower. Like centrifugal blowers are like one of my
cool.
favorite
Yeah,
sounds. Like
I will say though, I feel like that is I'll give it to the older guys on this, like the boomer generation on this. They dealt with a lot of stuff.
yeah.
We, as I think a younger generation, are a little more picky when it comes to that. We want our cars.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We want our cars to sound perfect and drive this, but these guys can have and they'll be fine going down the
Yeah.
road. They will talk stuff. Yeah, so they dealt with a lot of stuff.
Go to
yeah,
Martin on a Friday night.
yeah,
they tolerated a lot like
Yes.
with their cars for sure. Like the cars like had little hiccups here and there. Like our customers don't put up with that at all. Like holy crap. Like with me being a tuner, I am dealing with this all the time. My car, if I go this throttle percent at this situation. It does this. And I literally told a guy yesterday through email, I'm like, yeah, if you try hard enough, you can probably make it do something funny.
Yeah.
Stop trying to make it screw up.
Yeah.
Just drive the frickin' car.
Yeah.
Like,
People are definitely far nitpickier than like the boomer generation, because boomer generation, they like, oh, just got to make it work, got to figure it out. 'Cause half the stuff, there wasn't a lot of stuff out there for them too, so they have to make it on their own too. So which is
another thing I'm jealous about with the boomer generation is those cars, like those old school engines, they had so many upgrades.
yeah.
Like, when you buy an ATS-V and you're like, hey, I want to buy 20 mods for it, you can't.
There's not 20 mods for it, right?
There aren't. The car already comes out pretty awesome.
Yes.
I mean, there are dudes that have run single digits with stock intakes and
Stock turbos.
stock downpipes and stock turbos. Like, you can do it if you try hard enough.
Yeah.
But back in the 80s, man, there were so many mods. Like, think about how many cams there is, or how many cams there are for like a 302 Ford.
Millions. There has
Like,
to be. Not
each-
thousands.
Each brand has probably 5 to 10 cams for
Yeah.
that engine.
Because everything
I'm
was
jealous of that.
Yeah, because everything was so inefficient. There was always much better you can do.
Yes.
You can always upgrade everything. And also the markets are bigger because, those are also the guys. We're calling out the boomers here. The boomers, they're the kind of guys, you go up to them at a car meet, you pop your hood with your four-stem. They're like, well, how much is this little thing making? $500-600.
Yeah. They do like 2 backflips.
Yeah, they're like, how does a four-cylinder make 400 horsepower? My 305 big block Chevy with bored over 455s, with double pump carbs is making like 380 at the crank, and I did upgraded lightweight pulleys and boarded out with high compressions.
Your head flows like
Board stroke, pulled and polished.
Port and polish,
blueprinted and balanced.
blueprint and balance, port and polish.
But your head flows like what, 3 or 4 times?
Yeah.
What, like one of those flows per cylinder?
Yeah.
And then you have it add a turbo.
Yeah.
And then you have to explain, okay, every atmosphere you add doubles your cubic inch,
Yep.
and I'm running 35 pounds of boost and
Yeah.
whatever, like, and then their minds are blown.
Yeah,
they're blown.
Like
They're just thinking about their MSDs and their
the MSD coil packs and stuff. I remember the first time I took my Cobalt, it was when it was fairly new. It's fairly low miles on it. It was like first year I took it to like an old classic car show just to go hang out with some friends. And people, like, those dudes lost their mind. This old four-cylinder got an SS badge on it? Man, my Impala SS from back in the day, it ain't doing a thing like this. He's like, well, how much horsepower does it make? Oh, this one makes, about 260 to the crank. 260? How does this four-cylinder make 260 horsepower? Like, and it just blew their absolute mind. But don't let those
World.
don't let those guys get a new fast car, because if they get a new fast car, the boomers and stuff, you old guys, but they think that shit. Excuse me, put a thing in there. They think that car cannot be beat. I remember there was an old guy with a GT500 at one of the car meets, and he's like, "Yeah, this thing's fast." And
Chargers.
they're also really good at having the only one, like how they're a rare specific color and make and mod of that. Oh yeah, this is a 1 out of 37 in this specific car, color, make, interior, wheel combo. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Dale Earnhardt Junior Edition.
Yeah. So that's kind of my rant of the boomers.
Noah and the straight cut gears in the transmission. I'm not a fan myself, but I'm a weird one. Like Ryan would probably love it, I'm assuming.
What?
Right? If you had the chance to have a straight cut gear transmission, you'd probably love it.
Oh yeah,
I would hate it.
Yeah.
I would hate it because I am the weird one that's like, I want my car to drive amazing and be quiet and smooth and then be fast.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit to maintain that, to where you're like, you know what?
I'll sacrifice quite a bit.
I'll sacrifice that. I want to, like, not have to touch the clutch for shifting, which is a neat idea.
Yeah.
I like it, but I would rather just touch the clutch and not have the gears whirring like crazy.
Well, in fact, I mean that's a good kind of transition from the boomer stuff. So what? Because what Eric, it's Gen X, right? So Tim, you're a Gen X,
Yep.
and so like kind of tell the people like kind of you're growing up and modding and all that stuff.
I
Like,
mean, the funnest part is, I guess, that I grew up with no computers, 2 computers.
yeah, I mean that
Like,
was
literally.
I
like
feel like millennials did too, though.
Yeah, we did.
the first computers experience was like 8th grade, 9th grade. So I was like
Okay.
a freshman when I like first really sat in front of a computer.
Yeah.
And like had typing class. Like I don't even know if all kids know how to type now. So you probably don't even have to have typing class
No,
in
that's
school.
why they don't have spelling class in school anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
They really don't have
believe
spelling?
it.
No.
Oh man, spelling was one of my
So-
best subjects too.
I remember going on the internet and not finding porn. Like I couldn't find it. Like I remember looking for movies and not finding it. So I think that's
Yeah,
the
my
best way.
guy, my guy.
Bing bong.
So yeah, that's I guess my best way to sum it up.
Yeah.
I had the boomer generation of the 302s and 350s.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the cars. You thought your 350 was making 400 horse, but it wasn't. It was probably making like 270.
Yep. They always inflate the numbers and boomers.
Big time, man. And then I was like, I worked at a welding shop. I graduated high school. I worked at this welding shop, and I was into fast cars.
Yeah.
And my car at the time ran like a 15.0.
Yeah.
But this is like 99.
Which
so
is
15.0 is like, okay,
was actually
that's,
kind of fast for back
you
then.
know, it's a quick car, you know, fun.
So to interrupt super quick, so you guys out there, for those who
Oregon
don't know,
Trail.
oh my God, Tim, they're killing you in
Yes,
the
I
comments.
played that. Yes, I played that.
So
I think all of us but Bo did.
yeah, I played that too.
Yeah, Bo's
So
like, no
what you
idea.
guys got to remember too, through each generation, like in the 90s, a 15 or 14 second out of the box, a 14-second car out of the box was fast. That was
Yeah.
a fast car.
Yeah.
But like 15 and 16s.
Like when you were arguing with Keith the other day about how fast the Grand National was or something.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
me and Keith, one of our head R&D and
That
fabricators
and the
here.
01 of the same year.
Yeah, like the ZR1 and the GNX or something, and they're like within the same amount of like time and like a few tenths faster, but no one likes C4s. No one at all. No, like
Yeah.
if you like C4s,
Well, it
you're
was
wrong.
just the funniest thing because you're arguing like, yeah, it was a 14.7. No, it was a 14.2.
Yeah.
I'm like, both slow.
Yeah, they're both real slow. So
Yeah,
you
so
continue. Yeah.
This guy I work with, he was similar age to me, maybe a little bit younger. He was like, "You're into cars, you know?" He saw my car and he was talking to me about it, and I was like, "Oh, you know, what do you drive?" And he's like, "Oh, an Eagle Talon." And I was like, "What's the story on that?" And he's like, "Oh, it's all-wheel drive, 4-cylinder turbo." And I'm like, "Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
What does it run?" And he's like, 13.5. And I'm like, "You're lying.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're full of crap.
Yep.
No way." And he was like, "No, it really does." He's like, "I was actually thinking about selling it. You wanna drive it?" And I'm like, "Yup."
It's a classic Tim Beat right there.
And
So I jump in this thing.
this is the day Turbo Tim was born.
This
Yeah,
is the
it really was.
Yeah.
And I got on the entrance ramp and punched it, and just my mind it exploded.
Yeah.
It exploded.
Yeah.
Like, and I bought the car.
Yeah.
Like, called the bank the next day, had the car like the next day after that, probably whatever. Like, and then that's how I ended up as ZZP, like just like that.
Just do that. But so again, so in your age, that was like four-cylinders weren't like performance four-cylinders weren't even a thing.
No.
Like that was like one of the first ones. Like
Yeah.
Because what if the old, the turbos? I mean, turbo technology's even gotten way better. Like in your
Jeez.
time, like what was those GTA Trans Am turbos?
Oh,
they make
man.
like 150 horse with a V8 with a turbo or V6. What was V8 with a turbo, right?
Well, no, that one was the Grand National engine, so I mean that was fast. But they did have a like a late 70s Trans Am that was like a 302 turbo.
Yeah, that's
that was
the one.
slow AF.
Yeah.
Like 15-second quarter mile
Yeah.
turbo.
Because
something.
turbo technology wasn't that good.
No.
So you got into this before even the Fast and Furious scene
Yes.
was going on there. So
Yeah, I was well into it. I was into my Eclipse with like a straight livery on it.
Yeah.
And then Fast and Furious came off, and I had to take it
Yeah.
off.
Well, no, and in fact, that's actually another good one. Kind of explain that, like, because you were in it beforehand, and kind of walk us through that. Walk us through the car scene at that time. Because I mean, this is where you met Matt Meekoff at.
Yeah, yeah.
This is like kind of
Zoom.
explain. Yeah, Zoom. Like,
You know?
kind of explain like the whole
I'm pretty
pre
sure
Fast
I-
and Furious thing.
I'm pretty sure I met Matt through Zoom.
Yeah.
Because Zoom had his first 99 lease car Grand Prix GTP, so I met him in 99. And yeah, I had my Eclipse at this time. It ran 1240s at like 114.
In '99, and in '99 you were running 12s.
Yeah.
That's fast
And,
for that time period, boys and girls.
Late 99, I was on my second car. Yep. And obviously all the dudes that were at the lot, at the Rogers Plaza lot up the street, they all had like 14-second cars, and they were all V8s, all of them. And I show up there, and I ended up racing somebody. It started to develop a name similar to your story.
Yep.
And I was like the guy to beat, but I was the all-wheel drive guy.
Yeah.
So
no
it's
one's beating you on the street. Back then with tire technology, no one's beating you on
Matt
the street.
Meekoff was like the only dude that beat me.
Yeah.
Like I was this one guy, Matt, local guy, ran 10.7s in his nitrous 170 shot nitrous Camaro.
Oh, that's
LS1.
A lot of spray. That's a lot of spray.
1 LE, sweet orange car, and I murdered him, and everybody's heads exploded.
Yeah.
Like everybody.
Yeah.
Like I pretty much lost to nobody back then.
Yeah.
It was great because I was all-wheel drive.
Yeah. And then, but like this is before the Fast and Furious scene
Yeah.
too. So
Yep, it
then
was.
This was like when there was it was a real big focus on street racing and going fast, right?
Yep. We Zoom, Matt, and a few more of our friends went to go see Fast and Furious. It was what my dreams were. I dreamed Fast and Furious, and then that movie came out. I left there with a ear-to-ear grin.
Yeah.
I was
not what
like
I
living
thought he
my
was gonna
best
say.
freaking life.
Yeah.
And I remember I'm walking out with Matt and Zoom and a few others, and they hated that movie so much. I'm like,
Haters.
I'm like, I love this. Like, this is
Yeah.
all I want in life.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
It was a great day.
Now see,
It's huge.
and so then Ashley, you weren't driving right around Fast and Furious time too. You weren't driving then, right?
No, I just started.
Yeah.
Just started.
Okay. So like, kind of give us, because you and I are going the same thing, but give us a little millennial
I've got
kind
a
of
couple
thing.
more years on you.
Yeah.
But that was like right when I first started driving, and that was like, I kind of got a taste for it. Like I always grew up around, muscle cars. So I always grew up around. My brother and my cousins had Mustangs.
Yeah.
And I think I saw someone ask, like, what was the first fast car that you ever drove? And I had to sit here and think about it. And I was like, man, what was that? And I think it was my buddy's Trans Am. And I'll never forget taking that car out and just thinking you remember Archer, taking it to Archer and thinking that was the coolest shit ever.
Yeah.
And that is when Fast and the Furious came out. So then it was just like all of a sudden people just came out from out of the
woodworks,
The
yeah.
woodworks. I was going to say it.
Yeah.
And everyone just started, I'm going to take my car to the track now. Oh, we're going to go to the track now. And it just became a thing. And then, obviously, a couple years into it, that's probably right around the same time you got into it.
Because I remember watching Fast and Furious. Like I watched it.
Yeah,
And
I
was
remember
like,
going to
I asked
the
my
theater.
dad. I was like, Dad, is this real? No, that's not real, son. No one got V8s in this thing. That's pretty much exactly what my dad said.
yeah, that's what it is. And people, it's a movie, it's a
Yeah.
movie, it's a movie. And then I started seeing it, like actually seeing it in person, and I was like,
Yeah.
whoa. And it just blew up. It became like my life. Like every single weekend, you'd go to Archer, you'd go to the stockyards, you'd go to Drawley, or Doty. There we go. Yeah. And yeah, it
That was
literally was a thing in Chicago. It was real in
Yeah.
Chicago.
So like just saying again, the street racing was like a big crux of it. You
Yeah.
made your car look all crazy with your body work and your tuner stuff.
I saw someone
And-
mention Underglow too, and oh
Yeah,
my God, that's all
basically
it
it.
was.
Yeah, like I
All it
remember
was.
I remember riding in my mom's car. My mom at that time riding around a 99, 97 Rivy, maroon with maroon interior, and I would occasionally see boom in his car with Underglow. I'm like, and I was like, that was it.
Yeah.
I didn't know what else to do, and then and that kind of got me into it. Then it came out, and then video game technology was getting out, because I mean that's another facet of it. Video games were starting to come out, and they had this stuff in it. I kind of cars a lot from the movie and then the video games. Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition. You want to grab a lane in that game? Let's get it. I don't even have that game. That was on original Xbox. So, but yeah, like that game. I remember I had a 350Z. It had the biggest swing I could on it. Underglow, the craziest body kit, 22-inch wheels. Like I had it all. I was like, oh yeah, this is it. This is it right here.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what it was.
It's like Archer too. That area is known for having a lot of imports too, because it's
Yeah.
more of a not necessarily an American
Yeah.
crowd, so it's more of the imports, and
Yeah.
that's when like you name it, it was out there, and
Yeah.
it was crazy. It was literally a car show / car races every single night.
Yeah, absolutely. But then we got the Sip of Fuse there. We got Bo's generation. So Bo, kind of give us your kind of grow up on the car, your
Well,
grow up, blow up.
I missed the whole street racing scene by this much,
Yes.
and I've missed I was born in the wrong generation. I mean,
Oh, absolutely.
We
100%.
always joke about Bo being an old soul.
Yep.
yeah, definitely.
I
And-
think he was actually born before the street racing generation. He just didn't know it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
His
I mean,
soul anyways.
so like you know, in the years you guys are talking about, I was only probably 8 years old, 10 years old, but I definitely just grew up around the early 2000s, typical Grand Prix, Mustangs, Camaros, Trans Ams, like that. When I grew up, you know, I remember the first GT 500 in town, and my dad owned the Quick Lube, so we were changing oil and stuff. And I remember he used to leave for work in the morning, and I was waiting to go to school because I think I was so young I only had like afternoon class, but I don't know. It's a long time ago. I remember he pulls in the driveway and he's like, "Get in," and I'm like, "Whose car is this?" He's like, "Just get in," and we just go out and just, you know,
Give it the beans.
give it the beans, yeah. And he dropped me back off at home, and he was changing oil on it, and the guy's like, "Here, take the keys, try it out," you know, just probably some old boomer who was just trying.
Yeah.
And you know, so I think like that was that. I was really into Mustangs for a long time, and obviously I always had a thing for the LS1 and the Trans Ams and stuff too. Once I got into high school, a really good buddy of mine, he had a couple Trans Ams, and that's when I was like, all right, I need a car. And then, you know, Grand Prix were affordable. And
By this point, yeah.
ZZP was in Grand Rapids, and I knew that. I tell the story. I used to just sit on the ZZP website, just building my car XP cam.
Oh, we all did that. We all did that. We all did that.
And so, you know, when I turned 16, I was like, need the Grand Prix. And then I was just kind of a lone ranger, you know. I live outside of Grand Rapids, 40 minutes from here. And I was just full lone ranger, like me and a couple buddies. That's, you know, we would just race each other. That was all we had.
Yeah.
A good buddy of mine in high school, he had a Mustang, just a 4.6 car, but it was fast for in high school.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I don't have a ton of good street racing stories until I really started at ZZP. That's when my car lifestyle finally came to life. I mean, I was always striving for it on my own. I just could never find the people to do it with, you know.
Yeah. Even without the street race stuff, though, I mean, you still had like that because your car culture was different. Like you had the media and other stuff like that, like coming up too to see this stuff.
Yeah, I had a cruise for a long time, and when I was going through college, and I was like, yeah, man, these guys are stancing, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. They were, I wasn't into the just stance, and I'm just gonna hard park and you know look, just look cool. So I wanted to always go fast. So I think that's when I definitely just ditched the cruise, and I was like, well, I can go twice as fast for half the price in a 3800, and I just full committed to the 3800.
What do you say? What do you say all the time, Bo? It ain't got push rods.
It ain't a hot rod.
This man.
I told Ashley that today when she got the Gap.
Oh! You got taken the Applebee's today?
Kind
From a
of.
dig in the all-wheel drive.
First of all, we were looking at each other, and you turned your head and took off, and I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah,
here
that
we
was my
go.
technique. Make the eye contact. and
Hey, that's the hustle.
Yeah. He probably winked at her.
But the
Got me
Threw her
blushing.
game off.
yeah, overall, I mean, my generation car scene pretty dead.
But you.
I
not
think
only-
not really super dead. I just think you like it's a little different.
Yeah, it's a
think
little
so.
different. And plus, I mean, he lives out in the boonies, you
Yeah.
know? But, like, Bo, you did both cars. Actually, all of your cars. Every single car that I've seen a picture of, I've seen
Yeah.
pictures of, well, it was the first car. Was it?
The red
was
one?
it no, the white one.
The Grand Am.
The old
the
Grand
Grand
Am was done really well
Yeah.
for an older Grand Am.
Yeah.
His Cruise was done really well.
Yeah.
And his red Grand Prix, like, regardless of how fast it went, that car was clean and that car was
And it was
done
fast, too.
very well.
Yeah.
And it trickles on to his Regal.
Yeah.
His
So
yeah,
it's his Grand Prix
Yeah.
stuff. So I will say too, for all of us here, you know, I'm very big into car fashion, and I kind of like watching the trends is amazing to me. So as you guys know, like there are certain things that go in and out of style. Like during Tim's like original coming of generation, having the loud car was the thing. You wanted to have the car that stood apart from the rest of the normal
Flowmasters.
yeah, and flow and all this stuff, and not being as loud as possible.
Cherry bombs.
Yeah.
Versus when I started to come like getting more into it, that was kind of going out of style, and it was cooler to have the stock body lowered on nice wheels, but then fast car. Then lately, some of the stuff's been coming back in style. The crazy body kits. Obviously, body kits and stuff have gotten better. But
I
that's
actually went through all of that. Like,
oh, yeah.
when Fast and Furious came out, there was a group of Honda guys.
Oh, yeah.
Holy crap.
We all know the Honda guys. The guys that just saw the movie, they went out and bought Honda, so they got a crew of Honda guys. We all know them.
There was like 20 of them that were just crazy body kitted out. But the funny joke is that like darn near none of them were painted.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
They just got the body kit and just put it on unpainted.
Oh,
Ryan
yeah.
hates that.
Oh, my God.
I had a mismatched bumper for like 2 weeks, and Ryan was like, "What are you doing?" I'm
Fix
like,
it!
I can't get into the wrap shop just
Yeah.
yet.
Oh
But I'm
my
also not gonna
God.
drive around with a cracked bumper.
Yeah. No, yeah, like I've always hated that too. Like seeing it around, like I get it. We all want to do the thing, but do it right, boys. There's
Don't put it on until
don't
it's
put it
done.
on until it's ready.
Yeah.
Like I did the same thing. I got a body kit and I did not put that thing on. That stood in my garage for like 2 weeks before I can get that paint. I wasn't putting that thing on.
Yeah.
Because then you look like a cheapo, like a cheap broco.
I just really tried to make cars my lifestyle, you know?
Yeah.
I think all of us kind of evolve around that, especially now that it's our job. But, you know, it's what we think about. It's what we go home to relieve stress. You know, I love going out in the garage. That's kind of what I used to do. It's just, you know, always spend time with my car. And then, you know, you build it, and then I drive it to school, drive it to work. Like, it was just my whole life revolved. It was a full lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know, whether if I had friends doing it with me or not, you know, that's what made me happy. And it was, you know, as far as car modding for my generation, I would say we're kind of into too much blingy stuff. Nobody's.
You're
I don't.
so right.
I don't know
You-
anybody.
Blingy
You wanna
stuff
know
and
what?
crackle tunes.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah. No, you know what?
Your
I
generation, man, your generation and the one after you, like, they don't care about going fast as much as, like, crackle tunes and fireballs.
It's
Yeah.
the Sonic and Cruise guys. I get more emails of how can I make it crack and pop and bang over how much power am I going to make.
Yeah, and see, and that's it. It's just the shift is now because, and the thing about it is, you know, and this is, I love this topic because there's a lot to talk about. I feel there is a reason for it because right now, think about back in the days, cop cars weren't that fast. Now cops are running around in Chargers and stuff like that. It is a lot easier to get caught doing illegal stuff. We would never do that, by the way. It is
Close course only.
Close course only. Yeah, it is a lot easier to get caught doing stuff now than back in the day. Even back in the early 2000s, in the mid 2000s, it is much easier to get caught and radioed
yeah,
and
there's so
all
much.
sort of stuff.
They have way more undercover and unmarked cars
Yeah.
now than they ever did.
And they know about it. So as the laws crack down, then people obviously they evolve and they do what they can still.
And
right-
there wasn't really any. I mean, there was, but there wasn't laws about sounds like exhaust sounds.
Yeah.
You know, like there's.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Also, social media.
Yep.
Right now, there are, and I'll say, I mean, we can all say, and this is a Ryan Derrick opinion, but there's a lot of people who aren't really car guys that are into cars now because it's a thing to do. If you have a little bit of extra side money and stuff, you can have a guy build you a cool Instagram car. You can have your car to get like your 100,000 likes and stuff like that. You don't even have to be it. And you know, there's always
Influencer cars.
it's influence cars and car thoughties. You can be a car thought and show your body off and just be next to a cool car and get a bajillion likes because dudes are
It's
thirsty. Some of y'all,
so
I know some of y'all are
crazy,
thirsty.
So
Yeah.
crazy. The amount of girls that I see that are like YouTube sensations or whatever because they have a nice car. I'm not going to mention any popular names, but like, you know, they're like, they hold the part and then all of a sudden the part's on the car and they're like, look what I did.
Yeah.
No, you didn't do it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah, I wish more people would work on their stuff themselves. It's literally the best way to have a good running car because, you know, you understand how it works. You understand how when you're driving it, how everything works. It makes a huge difference when you understand things and when you are passionate about it and you've worked extremely hard on it. And then, you know, maybe something goes wrong. Well, then it's a great way to, you know, learn and
Figure
make
it
it
out.
better.
Yep.
And instead of paying somebody else to do everything or, you know,
Or
not being
emailing
able to
us.
do
Yeah.
it or not being able to do it because you can't afford to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a lot cheaper if you just buy the parts.
And do it yourself.
Slowly do it yourself. You know, there's tons of information out there, and it's not that hard. It's not rocket science.
Yes. Well, I will say too to a point about that, and a kind of not a counterpoint, but you know, interesting topic. During the mid 2000s, more car shops started popping up, like because the scene was getting more popular, they saw, I mean, even ZZP, like, hey, there's a chance to run a business based on this. Because you have the people that came up on your video games, that came up on your stuff, and that didn't have the opportunity to work on cars or didn't want to as well. That's me. So I never had really the opportunity to, never had the tools. But I worked 3 jobs. You know what?
Yeah, you worked for it in a different way, and that's
Yeah.
that's perfectly fine as well.
Yeah.
Bottom line, you got to put in the work.
Exactly. No matter what, you put in the work. And that's what we're here for, too.
But you also put in the work, and then if somebody gave you the advice, you took it. You didn't go around them and be like, well, I heard this, or I heard this on the
Oh, yeah.
internet. That's
I
the other part of this generation of, well, I heard this on the internet. This person on the internet told me this.
I did a lot of listening. I had a mentor. I was Milt Alberton. I still, I still respect the dude. Like, he was an old guy. He had a Galant VR4. Kept that thing forever. Still has it. And he kind of taught me a lot of the different ways in street racing and stuff. So I kind of got a lot of that knowledge and how to act and, like, the car culture etiquette from him. And it taught me a lot. Because, he was actually one that taught me. He said, hey, man, you do this car the way, we think we need to, and we need to go fast, because that rich kid next to you who got the Z06 from his dad, he doesn't care who bought it, who built it, who did what. He just want to gap you. And you better be ready, because if not, you're going to get gapped. Like, that was like the thing. You don't get gapped.
Yeah.
But that was his thing, because he did, like, his focus was on street racing. But now, I mean, and Bo and Ashley and Tim, we all talk about this. You have what's those car takeovers. Which to me is like, what are you doing? Those highway takeovers and those intersection taakevers.
Yeah,
you see like the TikTok videos and all, and the Instagram videos.
Man,
of dudes
that's
just
getting old.
Yeah, they're just doing burnouts in the middle of like blocking off traffic.
What's the story? I mean, I know how things trend, but the thing with the spree wells, are they called spree wells?
What's
The
that?
wheels that the spokes hang out really far.
Get the hell out
Oh.
of here. What?
Oh,
Spree wells?
No, the I think they're called Vogues and stuff. So
Well, Vogues are tires. Vogues
No,
are tires with the white sidewall with a gold stripe around it.
right, we're right.
The Swangers.
The
I
Swangers,
think is
yeah,
another
the
name.
Swangers, yeah.
I think spree wells are the brand.
So that
But,
that is just a whole nother car culture in general.
Yeah,
yeah,
we
that
know
that
there.
stuff is making me real mad lately.
That is a down south Texas, usually African American thing.
Like
so
this
yes,
dude
Ryan is
blocking
right.
traffic and like literally swerving in front of people and making them stay
Yeah.
behind him as he drives super slow. Like
Yeah.
that stuff just makes me
Stun.
want
We
to
call
run
that
him over.
stun.
All right,
Man.
Trevor's gonna hate me for this one, and I think Bo can kind of maybe agree on it. Ryan, you might not. Tim,
Yeah.
I don't know, but the whole Stancy boy wheels sitting in like this while you're driving
There comes
drives me crazy.
there's a line.
Crazy.
There's a
That's-
line.
That's showing my age,
Yeah.
obviously.
Because
Yep, same here.
I think that there is a cool stance. There is a nice stance, and I see the point because again, I'm more accepting of the show car stuff. Like, they're not made to go fast. Like, if you do like the crazy, super aggressive, like not safe to drive thing, I'm not like it. But a little like that, like real low, real sitting, real
See,
nice.
I
don't
just
mind
don't
it.
understand it, and I want to because I
I don't
want to
I
understand
don't
it
want to.
Yeah,
because like I race cars. My S2000 had 3.5 degrees of camber in the back
Yep.
because it needed it.
Yes.
But like these dudes with, I don't know, I'm
Mason.
going to make up numbers because it's so dang high, like 15 degrees of camber, like
usually up in the 6 or 7 range, 8 sometimes. It's pretty high.
Like that's ridiculous.
So
Like I'm not into it. Like if I just don't get the point of like I fit a 10-inch wide wheel on my Volkswagen Golf.
So, and I think, and again, this is great. So you guys in the comments definitely talk about this too. So, Dan, it's not American Bosozoku. Bosozoku is its own thing. Like, it stands in
so
Japan.
glad you knew what that meant. I was
Yeah.
like,
Tim knows
I
that is
haven't
too.
heard that in a minute.
Tim, Bosozoku, we've talked about that before. But, so stands came apart because there are people who weren't interested in going fast, but they liked cars.
so they
there-
had to do something to stand out.
Essentially, yeah. Like, it's instead of, well, it's like, and
So
I,
it goes
and I-
to show that they're not fast. They're just showing.
well, no. Well, hear me out. So, for instance, in the back of the day, drag racing was the only type of racing you really need to do. That's how you proved you were fast, right? Like in the boom. So people started road racing. The drag race guys do not like the road course guys. Like, that's stupid. You don't know turn corners, blah, blah, blah. So it's kind of like, like the parents, they always think the new generation does stuff that's really dumb. Like,
Okay.
The stance stuff, if you think about it, it's another everyone has to try to form their way of clout. They got to get like, oh, I'm special because of this. Instead of doing the micro record, I'm the fastest blue GTR on the sunny weather day with stock intakes, kind of thing. They're instead of breaking engines, they're doing their suspension setups. I can say, in some ways, I'm kind of jealous of them because here's this. I have a friend Everett. He has his blue S2000. You've seen Everett's car. It's a real nice car. In the stance car.
Definitely
he has
know
never had a single engine problem his entire time of owning that car. Not a single engine problem.
Well,
Yeah.
1, Honda, and 2, is it stock?
No, he has like a few bolt-ons on it.
Okay,
But-
still Honda.
Yeah.
But
No, it's S2000
let him
then.
finish because
Yeah.
he's going to finish here. Because
Yeah.
he can't floor it and he can't do anything with it.
No. He drifts the car.
Oh, okay.
He goes out and does. And again, that's nothing. The drifting came about. He came about and he
He's the drifting S2000
The blue
guy,
one.
the
Yeah.
crazy guy.
Yeah, it's
I
blue.
couldn't even imagine. That car wants to it wants to go too much to try to drift.
Exactly.
It's got to be a hard car to drift.
So he takes off the wheels, drifts it, puts the other wheels back on it, and he drives around. He recently just bought a Porsche too, so major props to Everett on that. He just bought a 997 or 99. He bought like a nice one.
Okay.
Yeah, but either way, but he drives around, goes to car shows. He's had this car for about as long as I have my Cobalt. He owns it.
Damn.
He drives it, keeps it clean. His thing of instead of doing a bunch of engine mods and breaking his engine every year, he buys new sets of wheels, sells old wheels, getting new wheels. Has it this year, did a new body kit. I mean, if you think about it, is he the dumb one?
No.
Because think about I turn the snowball. I'm going through a lot of engines trying to make some dang power. So
it does suck when you're trying to make power, trying to keep it
together.
drivable.
Yeah, keep it
Like-
drivable, keep it together.
Yeah, like
He-
that is hard.
He may break a suspension part every now and then, and not often because he's low, but it's not like stupid, dumb, this he did. His eyes like that, so it still looks good. I'll show it to you guys after, but
That's where the well-roundedness comes in. You got to
Yeah.
have a car that's well-rounded and sorted
Yeah.
and thought into everything. Like, yeah, my fitment's tighter than what your stance fitment is, but it works
Yeah.
and it makes twice the power, and I drive it to work every day, and it has.
And I can take it to the road course. In your case,
you got to have the full package for me.
yeah.
And until you have the full package, it's not a race car.
Yeah, and that is actually a lot of, and you have even
I mean-
even Al and Tyler, they would disagree because they use the term all weather cars, all season cars, like all season tires.
Yeah.
So I've always been like the Fast and Furious theme is what came into mind for me because in my generation, I want to touch the interior, touch the sound, go through the whole checklist, touch everything, engine bay, like that's what I like.
Yeah,
right?
the full package,
The full whole package.
sorted.
But sometimes, in certain cases, that means the car doesn't really excel at doing anything, but it just does everything. Sometimes.
Yep.
right?
It does everything well,
Well.
but it doesn't master anything.
Yeah, it's
Exactly.
not first best at anything, but second best at everything.
Exactly.
That's the goal.
So, if that's the goal of it, then that is, that's good. But again, kind of go back to the stance guys. Their thing is, their whole flexing instead of how much horsepower do you have or how fast do you, how like your track times. They're like, hey, what's your fitment? How low did you go? How much from stock? It's just a different way of
Let's
competing.
be
Limbo
real. Like
contest.
Pretty
like,
much.
your preference is car shows, right?
My
Pretty
preference goes from road coursing, but then the car shows. Yes,
So like,
I've done the half mile, I've done all that stuff and everything like that.
if you did the full, let's be real here. Like, if you did the full Stancy Boy thing on your Cobalt, would you win more trophies? I'll answer for you. Yes, you would.
I
Your
probably
car would sit a couple inches lower.
Yep.
Your wheels would be a little bit wider.
Yep.
Like, you would win more trophies
Probably.
doing the Stancy Boy thing.
Yeah, but like sometimes I like the shock of wow, this is a really balanced car, and that's what.
But
gets
that's the 1 in 10.
yeah.
When you're talking about YouTube likes, let's
Oh
say.
yeah, YouTube likes and stuff. Yeah, like I would get granted I feel like I have my Instagram followers pretty good, but it would have way more if it was on airbags and super lower and all that stuff. But
You know, if it framed out,
yeah,
it would have more likes.
yeah.
Can we talk
But,
about who here gets more likes, though?
Wait,
Probably you because you're a chick.
No.
Yeah.
No, we're not even talking about that.
You talking
I'm
about
talking
on
about
the-
anytime,
on the
anytime ZZP posts a
oh yeah, on
picture,
ZZP page it's 100% Bo Cobb.
It's Bo Cobb.
Yeah, Bo, MF, and Cobb. Because we have our 3800. Our 3800 crowd is strong. Y'all 3800
Man, they're
owners,
strong.
y'all
So
are
still-
support, and y'all, if a W body gets posted, y'all tossing that thing alike.
You want to know what, though? I'm coming for Bo.
Oh.
was just
Spec
gonna
base
say.
model.
Oh.
Spec base model is coming for Bo.
I told him the other day it should have been Spec Bonneville.
Oh, that'd be funny.
He's not
That
wrong.
would own Instagram. Like,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
over. Just shut everything down.
Well, speaking of standstill, do you guys remember that Red Grand Prix? That was like it had the video for like 2 weeks. It did the spark thing. Yeah, so I mean
yeah.
that thing blew up the internet for a few days.
That's
But,
silly.
yeah,
That's
I mean-
he sits on his hood. Anybody who stands on your hood, no.
Yeah, well, I'm not about to stand on your hood,
Yeah.
but yeah. So yeah, that's my view on the.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's pretty crazy how
Yeah.
that stuff goes.
Yeah, they will. I do think that that's my view on the stance thing. So the stance thing is like, but what I say is the Cobalt does get a lot of love when it goes to Week Fest because it's kind of the only Cobalt that's built to that level kind of thing. But it's definitely like, I get it, I do. A lot of those guys, for instance, we have a lot of our. I'll even call them out. There are certain LTG customers that, your only metric of fast is how fast you ride the quarter mile. I think that's so silly. Like, is your car fast? Well, yes, but I don't go to the drag show. Well, why not? If you were fast, you go to drag show. No, that I'll do half mile. I'll do road racing. Like, I have other ways to prove that my car is fast, but I don't really care for the 1320. That's not my preference. But some people that have cars that are better at it, or automatic cars, they do.
We
But-
gotta get you to roll race that 1320 at Streetcar Takeover.
I mean, I'm down for that.
Damn, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Yeah,
all down.
I
I just
mean-
didn't go last year. So.
I think this year could be a really good one. I'm hoping to have my ATSV there for the roll racing. Like, if Snowball's up and running, that would be a great
Yeah.
car to be there.
Yeah,
Even if you're not going for anything, I'm gonna say it again, and I've said it a million times, and you've all heard me say it. I had so much fun there.
Yeah.
I just roll racing my car. I knew I wasn't gonna win anything, but it was so
It was
much fun.
And see, again, we all have like, for instance, Ashley forgot. So, and this is within our same generation. Ashley loves Cletus and cars. I would not. Does not sound fun to me. Like, Cletus and cars does not sound fun, but that's what.
I love drag racing. I love
Yep.
race events, and I love drag racing.
Yeah.
All
Let
these
me- let
guys
me-
like the turn races. I like drag
Yeah.
racing.
Let me chime in here real quick.
Go for it.
Willie SB, keep it simple, dude. I'm so sick of the ATSV community overcomplicating the builds. That carbon fiber dry shaft is probably a piece of crap. You can probably quote me on that. Like, Anybody
Do I
who-
even ask who's making it?
ATSV guys just want to just buy. If something's available to purchase, they're like, spend money.
However, I
100
can't blame them.
What's 100 octane in a Schmitty tune?
It's 100 octane race gas and Justin's.
So-
But
But E85's more.
Yeah.
And more.
So-
Well,
not
More
everybody
better.
can get it.
Yeah, no,
like
I get
one
it,
thing
fine.
I will notice with my remote tunes is like
That's one of the
more
first
often
things
than
I
not,
ask.
people can't get E85.
E85, yeah.
Well,
We're-
that's the first
we're
question
kinda
I
blessed,
ask,
yeah.
Is if, like, hey, can you get E85 near you?
Sounds expensive.
Yeah.
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 But say like this is I can't blame them 100% because, for instance, and then another kind of car model that came out in these various generations too was and I kind of said there's two different kind of car builders, and I've said it to you before, Tim. There's people that like the journey, or the people that like the end result. Tim,
Yeah.
you are a journey person
Journey person. yeah.
because if there was an opportunity to get some cool parts out there, you're about it. Because I am too. I'm more of a completed end goal, but I like having just the crazy parts on my car and stuff. So
yeah.
like.
Alfred, it's still kind of the same way. You have a lot of dyno racers versus track racers.
Oh
so-
yeah, dyno races and track racing, that's still a thing. But right now, another thing that's come up in Bo's generation are the draggies, which is
Oh,
actually
Yeah.
a cool piece of. It's actually really cool technology, but no one's like lining up and racing each other. People are.
But you would also put it in a different car and say you did that. If
Yeah.
there's no
You
video,
could.
if you can't prove it, there's
Yeah.
no way to say it.
But there's like, oh,
There's guys
my
in the
draggy
sport
time is
community.
this, and my draggy time is this. Like there are, instead of they're comparing numbers in that way now too. So that's another thing that wasn't around in your time, my time.
Yeah.
If you want to know who's faster, you go out there, you let's line them up, and you go. You got.
We had man, what was it? G-Tech? G-Tech? Is that what it is? A little quarter mile calculator back in the like
I had never
mid
heard of it.
2000s or so.
I don't know.
Yeah, I never owned one. Todd, one of our old employees, he had one. It was pretty good. And Willie SB, we're like what you want, no joke, is our auxiliary fuel system kit. I'm gonna have it on the website in the next like 2 weeks. That will allow you to run whatever pump awesome fuel you have there that's like standard pump fuel. You don't have to go to special stations. Your premium, let's say. And then you can buy your like C16 or your E98 and put it in an auxiliary fuel tank that's in your trunk. And then there's a fuel pump that's triggered by boost and feeds 2 injectors, 1 per charge pipe. It's going to be amazing. And Justin will love it too because he'll be able to backscale, and the ATSVs love that.
Yeah.
So that's what you want. So, and it only activates at full throttle. So
That's gonna be sweet.
it only uses your high octane. That like
When
I
that-
said, 2 weeks.
It's
that-
it
when
is
amazing.
it
When-
is a great feeling solution. I guess I was just
Yes.
laughing because he describes his car mods as octane and Schmitty tune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
now
Jason-
as you said, you definitely gotta get on the website first because you released the secret. Oof.
Jason-
I don't think it's a secret. I mean, I've been sending this to my ATSV customers for a while.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just
definitely
like,
not a secret. It is definitely something that's already been done and already. Actually, we got a good
Proven.
customer going to the track tonight with a similar setup.
Nice.
Yep.
And
It's gonna be cool.
Widowson said it perfectly. Keep it simple. We
Yes.
have, we
Keep it simple,
love that around
sure.
here. I mean,
Even though some of us don't follow it. I'm looking across the table like you silly boy.
What are you talking about? Base model Cobalt isn't simple?
Go the way what Tim has been doing it? No.
Sarcasm.
less is always more, and just having the right parts that work together instead of overcomplicating
Yeah.
it always yields
Less
a
is
better
more?
result.
Unless you're just a crazy person, you just go way
Landon
far.
Wrath, what's up? 3800 is the best platform.
Ooh.
I think your car's running down in the install bay right
What did
now.
you just say?
Huh? 3800 what? Is the best platform.
You want to
I
go?
mean, it's the most supported one for sure.
Hey,
Listen.
Ryan, listen, I'm going to let you talk, but you're going to talk when you take your ass to the track and go against him.
we just go on the street because I've already.
Regal-
Wherever you want
All
to
right,
go.
all right.
Wherever you
Last
want to
year-
go. I watched Bo
got one.
I've-
whoop Tyler's ass.
I got it. I just had an
Who's
idea.
next?
Light bulb.
Yep. Okay.
Last year, Zoom's Sonic beat the Sonic.
Zoom's
Zoom Sonic beat the
3800.
Sonic.
Sorry,
God damn
Zoom's
it.
Grand Prix beat the Sonic. Maybe this year, Bo's Regal needs to beat Snowball.
Oh.
That's okay. Let's not get crazy
Let's
here.
go.
Let's not get crazy.
Let's go. Come on. I'm
So-
for it.
I mean,
I don't even care if I lose, but I just got to get you out there, you know.
I mean,
No, don't say that.
I'm already saying that so far the LS4 is 0 for 2 against the ATS, and that's the daily. It's 0 for 2 against the ATS.
Oh, the Regal's the real daily. It's just under construction.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That Regal's mean. One thing I like
No,
about the
no,
Regal
I
is that
love
The
the Regal.
galloping moose.
It
Let's
likes
call
to
it by
go.
its real name.
like you name the speed, it's ready to go.
Hold up. I'm sorry. I got to stop here.
Ryan's Cobalt, it's got speeds that it doesn't want to go.
Not really.
Yeah,
Prove it.
I'll even.
Punch
You've
it at
seen
20.
me-
Prove it.
Punch it at 20. Who do you
Okay,
think's pulling?
you got me from 0 to 30. Okay, you got me from there. So, Jason Whittleson, you wanted to do some crazy race. I was very limited to you, and I said yes, let's go. And then you were the one that wasn't ready at the time. You were the one that wasn't ready to go.
Widowson, come out for Streetcar Takeover.
Widowson didn't want to race my Ion when he was here.
Oh!
Because I remember.
Jason Whittleson's afraid of the little turbo car. He's afraid of the little turbo. No. Stop it. You're scaring him. You're talking about turbos, and he's a blower car.
Who's looking for a base model Cobalt here?
I mean, hopefully all of us. Hopefully you are.
I'm not like, why would
Landon.
I want a base model Cobalt?
Because you want to join the group. Let's do this.
Landon, I get what you're doing, and I know you're Team Bo right now, but let's not get crazy, dog. Let's not get crazy. We got a big horsepower deficit between there. Big old one.
I'm
Yeah.
seeing Mariah
Justin,
needs to
send
get the
us-
fire back under his ass.
Send us the details. I know Al's been looking, but he definitely needs an eye
You
on.
can send it to customer service at zzperformance.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Um,
Jason, I remember it was just the times didn't line up. I'm just joking with you, dude.
ideally, Ryan's car should make easily 200 wheel more horsepower, but he's got to shift it.
That's my 4T65, you know.
Doesn't
From a
sound
dig or
anything
roll?
like that.
To every victory lane.
From a roll?
Of course.
Sun Streetcar Takeover is perfect.
Always go on the street. Take it back to the
Man,
highway.
Oh,
I
dig.
remember my Grand Prix. My Grand Prix was
Dig's not a question.
like
but
20 rolls in that Grand Prix of mine. Like, it would have smoke rolling out of the wheel wells and still lay you in the seat. God, that car was mean. I am not off Team 3800. I probably realistically won't own one again because I have too many cars currently. But
that's true.
that's a
because
mean engine.
Yeah,
we just had this conversation the other day.
The equalizer made them better.
Well, we
good
just
again.
we just had a really good customer come in, and he had a nice Grand Prix. Not going to say his name,
Oh,
but
I know you're talking about.
it made really good horsepower.
Really
it
good
made
power.
like ATSV horsepower.
What? The white one?
Don't say names.
Mid 500s horsepower and 700 foot-pounds of torque. And we were like, we should line this up with an ATSV and see what it does,
Yeah.
I don't know what would happen, but
I think because of the gearing in the car made to go fast, I think the ATSV would still win, but it would be a close race.
just to Tim's, the Turbo 3800 is a lot of fun. It really
Yeah.
is.
Bo and
They have a great weight bias. That car is so front heavy. With sticky tires, it's a pretty hard car to beat.
and the power band is just meaty AF. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
meaty
meaty.
all the way around. So
Yeah,
as
the
much
power curve
as
is
much crap as we
nuts.
talk, the 3800 it is a tried and true platform. It is
Yeah.
good. It is.
Yep.
They are quick. You got once you get to a turbo setup again. Bo has made two of my favorite 3800s. I don't like my three. My three what I like on the planet. I like two of them are his. So
I do appreciate that, brother.
yeah.
Yeah, the turbo is the way to go, though. I mean, it really is.
Yes.
Blower's cool. I mean, if you're all about that, but
If you're gonna blow it, please equalize it. Please equalize it.
yes, we got an equalizer. We got an equalizer and H-body coilovers going on at Bonneville Monday.
Woo! You
that's
just
gonna be
say
really cool.
H-body coilover possibility.
H-body coilovers.
finally.
We finally got somebody. We've been only asking for a year and a half for a
Yep.
good customer to come in and let us do some test fitment. And
Oh my
Good.
God.
I can't wait to see.
Kind of tell he's getting on you in
Yep.
the comments. It already costs more than his 04 CTSV. He's right, too. Dude.
I doubt it.
You had
I
an
doubt it.
04
I mean, he's had that
CTSV?
thing since it was tens of thousands of dollars. So
You're not that far behind anymore.
no, come on,
Okay, I'm exaggerating.
$4,000 maybe I have into that thing total, and that's like a lot of money. That's because I bought a brand new engine.
Yeah.
What's Mr. Kemp? How much more horsepower will the new Sonic Turbo be over the V3? About
Lots.
50 horse.
Yeah. So,
A
guys,
Depending.
V3 manual tranny car will make about and I don't know, like full max effort E85 all bolt-ons will make about 250 wheel, and then a 04 car will make around 300 wheel.
Yep.
So
all right.
We'll find out.
So
soon.
I just saw a comment in the thread here. It says Ryan, shut up. I'm gonna guess. I'm not even gonna look at the name. Tim it from right. Is that Randy O'Brien?
he's in there.
Wait, is
Oh,
that
yeah.
see,
Oh, yeah.
okay. Just want to make sure. So, guys, it is 5 o'clock. Hope you guys enjoyed the chat. Hope it wasn't too scatterbrained as we talk about the different modding styles and stuff. Also, sorry, last thing. The older guys, boomers and Gen Z, like, you guys matching your plastic and stuff. Like, if it's plastic, it comes off the car and you paint it to match. Stop doing it. Now everything on the interior needs to be painted. Grand Prix guys, Cobalt guys, all you guys, stop it. Stop painting every plastic thing in the car. Stop it.
Ethan,
That's what
we
needs to happen.
we said it in the beginning of the podcast. Al, Trevor, Ryan are going to be there with the Drag Sonic, running a 10.
I'll
It
Trevor,
better.
I'll Trevor Tyler.
Tyler, what'd I say?
Ryan.
Ryan.
I'm right here.
Man, you're cut off. How many of those have you had? Like one or two?
I got him the tall boys.
Dude, you are not doing great tonight with your words.
I know.
So,
It's okay. Bo's had a long
yeah.
week. If anyone
all right,
knows
so
what
Tim,
Bo does.
what are you doing this weekend, my friend, as we kind of wrap this up?
Man, yard work.
Dude, that's it. No, okay, hear me out. Yard work right now
That
is
was
exciting.
me last weekend.
Tim,
Yeah.
yard work
Came
is
in
exciting
looking
this
like a
weekend.
tomato.
Adulting is
It's
not-
warm outside. Get to go outside with some shorts, get a little sweat on, get your workout on. Let's get it, Tim.
Yeah,
Let's get it,
I
boy.
can't-
Let's cut that grass.
We've got good weekends coming up, but this weekend's going to be pretty boring.
Nah, you be
I,
fine.
I came in sunburned on Monday, and everybody's
Ooh,
like,
you
"What
were looking like Tim's shirt, you red lobster looking
Put that
boy.
red
like I-
light up to Bo's face. That's how he
Yeah.
looked.
No, he looked like Tim's shirt.
I mowed and blowed, and we,
Like
did
you
all
on a
the-
pontoon all day.
Bo had sunburn on his legs. I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah.
What's it like getting sunburned, boys? All right, Ashley, what do you got going on this weekend?
I really don't have anything but to just hang out and enjoy the weather.
Okay.
Yeah, I might
Okay.
go out and grab a few drinks tonight.
Okay.
Maybe have a bonfire.
There you go.
Do that those people stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. So, Arcane Shadow, shout out to you. I just saw you in there. We'll talk about D&D next time. Bo, Kyle, what are you doing? I mean, you are on a time crunch right now because you are going to both Streetcar Takeover and the annual W Body Meet, which, guys, we have a lot of good stuff coming to the annual W Body Meet. If you don't know about that meet, please go to it. Contact one of us. We'll give you some details on it. It will be a great event. It's always huge turnout because if it's something I will give W Body guys, they are old school enough that they turn out and they go to meets. That's something the new guys don't do. New guys, you don't go to meets. You just, sit there, at your homes, having your broke cars, not going to meets, not having fun.
I used to plan a year in advance for that meet back in the day. I mean, Dino Days, literally like 9 months in advance. I was prepping, budgeting. Setting time aside, but not this year. This year it's like 6 weeks before the meet. We better get that trans fixed.
Yeah, yeah. Your trans is done today, right?
Yeah.
Don't say that.
It'll be done this weekend. So Regal's getting a fresh built 65E, and we're not even gonna run a boost controller on it. I don't think so.
He said, this man said, give him the boost. This man said, turn the boost to the moon.
Might need Turbo Tim to approve.
This man said, give me the 35 pounds of boost.
Oh, boy.
He said, give it all.
No, I'm literally looking to send it to the moon. Yeah. Like that Streetcar Takeover. If it makes more than Zoom's car does, I'll just take my Regal to Streetcar Takeover and whoop on everybody with that. So, Streetcar Takeover.
Got the tires for it.
Huh?
You're not going to bring both again?
I'll bring both.
Okay.
I don't know if I have time to do both, but
you might take the throttle pedal off of one, but on the other one again.
Can you bring an extra this time?
Yeah.
I mean, Sarah needs something to drive there with, so you'll have at least two there.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll have cars there. Either way, I'm hoping to get the Regal tranny back this weekend, prep the subframe, get it all together, and start driving it.
There we go.
It's going to be on kill this year, so. For what it is.
The Galloping
Kill
Moose
isn't a lot for it, but
Kill is going to be because there was an email with a customer. I think I mentioned your name and your car about 7 times in the email. So I could look at Bo's car. Bo's car.
I actually just told someone too. They called and they talked about a Regal, and I was like, "If there's anybody you need to talk to, is going to be Bo."
Yeah, because that is a perfect example. It's a 1.9 rocker, 60-pound injector, E85 Z3 turbo kit car.
Yeah.
And
we're going to need some injector.
It's clean.
It is
and it's
super
pretty.
clean. Because that's another thing. Older guys, new guys don't do this. Sorry, just going back to it real quick before we finish up. But older guys take pride in their cars. That's all they do. They keep them clean. They keep them nice. Not like 7 different body panels. Not like, they have to take pride in keep it clean. And just no matter what it is. Just be a nice car. So we had an older guy with a blue LSJ that came in here and made ridiculous power.
Love you too, Randy.
Widowson, we had I shouldn't rant right at the end, but
go for it.
Widowson holds the M62 record for the LSJ. We had a nice old gentleman come in with a Cobalt him and his son have had since it was new. They've passed it back and forth due to life circumstances, but they've always kept it. They dug it out of storage for 6 years. They brought it to us and they said, "I want 300 horsepower." I said, "I got you, brother." We threw every off the part ZZP shelf or every listen to me again.
Yep. Whoop.
Every off the shelf ZZP part at it, aside from the LS4 throttle body setup, and he actually had a shorty header on already on the car, so we left it. So we left the LS4 throttle body off because he wanted it to drive like stock but make 300 wheel. Alan Tyler strapped this thing on the dyno and it ended up making 331 horsepower to the tire on a 2.9 pulley.
Guys, if that doesn't tell you that your pulley size doesn't matter, like it needs to be for the step, the smallest pulley does not matter. Yeah. Once again, we're making all this horsepower on 2.9s and stock pulleys and 3.0.
Stock throttle body, ZZP intake, nothing fancy, off the shelf parts, stock bottom end. We brought the car in, put a clutch in it, and just head swap cams, E85, just did it right.
Yep.
Just kept it simple, and it performed and it works and you can drive it to work every day. It still gets decent gas mileage. Just an all-around well-rounded setup with nothing but off-the-shelf parts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Available to you.
But the car,
not overcomplicated.
Yeah. The car was well maintained. The dude kept it clean, kept pride in the car. The car was nice. So that's another thing. just keep it, guys. Doesn't matter if you have a car that you bought for $300. Keep it nice. Make sure it looks good. You know, you don't have to be fast and look like a crap box. Because I hate sleepers. Oh, my car was crap. My car's fast. No, that's dumb.
Yeah.
You can
I
have
agree.
a clean stock car and not have crappy paint and rust all over the car.
Yep.
Have take pride and stuff. Boys and girls, I am just going to do a lot of nothing this weekend. Hopefully just clean up some stuff.
Being Mr. Dad.
Being a little dad kind of thing. Maybe D&D. I'm hopefully this weekend I'm finishing my headlights. So the headlights should be hopefully back here Monday, which is kind of the perfect time to get all that stuff back. And
Mr. Chris Boltman, head mechanic of the Snowball right now, was asking where those headlights were.
oh yeah, yeah. So hopefully
Ooh, that's a good question to ask. That sounds like it's like getting there.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
Snowball is.
yeah, it's
Just in time for streetcar takeover. Okay.
Okay, bye.
all right, guys. Have a good weekend. We'll see you later. Are we off the air? We're not off the air yet.